Hi Lena, Chrissy here. I want to make some comments on your discursive essay. I know you're looking forward to hearing my thoughts. Now Lena, the organization is very good. The essay is actually on par with the Certificate of Advanced English essays. And I'm not kidding when I'm saying that. It's pretty well done. The structure is very good. It's concise. It's also, well, it's not actually concise. It's well written. It's more cohesive is what I'm looking for. It's very well linked. And the arguments are meaningful, well put. The first sentences in the paragraphs have the main meaning. So even when you skim read your essay, you get the idea of what's going on. The opening could be a little bit more, well, I don't want to say passionate, because in this kind of essays you can't really afford passion, but using a bit more emphatic language. For example, starting with a cleft of the kind, what is considered to be one of the most important things for people in our modern society is to find a way to be healthier, for example. But overall, it's actually pretty good. The highlights here, the highlighted text, is some minor points on sort of making the text a bit more, leaner and actually more native-like. But apart from that, it's really good. So let's look at this. Good introduction. Be careful, research is not countable. And you need to see who has conducted the research. And life expectancy has been rising steadily, because you say steadily, so this means continuously and gradually since 1890. You don't need the word years here. You could have it, but you don't actually need it when you talk about life expectancy. According to some research, life expectancy has been rising. I removed the, because we're talking people in general, yes, in our modern society, but all the people in our modern society. The second paragraph, third and fourth are your arguments, and they're really well developed. Be careful, the doctors using this machine can look inside your body and also diagnose an illness sooner. Diagnose is parallel to look. This sounded a bit clumsy. Some deadly conditions. It's not the conditions that are, or maybe actually meant conditions, now that I'm thinking about it. I thought you were talking about symptoms. Some severe or even fatal symptoms might have been misjudged or totally overlooked, but also some potentially really dangerous and fatal life conditions, living, actually not life, but living conditions could have been overlooked. Living conditions. I guess if you add the word living, then we understand these are conditions in which people were living. Secondly, preventative medicine is getting more popular. Again, we don't need the, because we're talking about preventative medicine in general. There are different kinds of preventative medicine. According to the Center for Disease Control, we don't need S. Okay, it's one center with many offices. Different offices, different locations, if you will. I did a comma, because usually we say according to blah blah, comma. The last known case for smallpox occurred in, so the last known case ever for smallpox occurred. I guess you could have ever. I'm not sure why I just liked ever, because the last known is yeah, I guess, can we or not? I'm thinking now. The last known case ever for smallpox. Yeah, why? I'm not sure why I didn't like it the first time. It will be all right, yeah. Or the last, yeah, ever for smallpox. Ever will work. In addition, hepatitis B cases, we don't need the again, because again, we're talking about all the cases that are Hep B. They have dropped by more than 80% since the 1970s. You need the. Now here, prefer good nutrition food. so you had originally had good nutrition food, and I suggested good quality, nutrient rich or nutrient dense food to junk food. Really good usage of prefer here with to. Thanks to the passing of this law. Is it passage of the law? Really? Passage is another word that I will question here. Passage. Passage means something different, like a tunnel, for example. Yeah, usually long. I don't know if you can see. Let's move it so it fits the screen here. So I wrote passage. Usually long and narrow part of a building with rooms. Yeah, like a corridor. A hole or part of the body through which something goes. Yep. A short piece of writing, travel, journey. The act of moving through somewhere. Yeah, the passage of time is fine. The official approving of some. Here again, urge passage of a constitutional amendment. So there, you are right. I was going to say passing, but passing can mean someone dying too. So, okay. So I would give you that for sure. He again urged passage of a constitutional amendment. Very cool. Let's go for that. That's all right. So where were we? So where were we? Here. Thanks to the passage of this law. Yeah. I wasn't feeling comfortable with passage, but there we go. The dictionary said this will work. I'm still thinking here. People have been able to make, definitely B, we need to drop. Okay, they are able to make, or were able, or have been able to make informed decisions. Nothing, we don't need B here, I'm sure you just somehow wrote it here, you know about that. And here, many of the existing types of flu. Influenza, notice how we write flu for short. Flu with an E means something different. It means like a shoot, like what's like a, not really like a course, a pipe, exactly. Like a shoot down a pipe. So with the E. Okay, so like a vent, like a pipe that would lead the gas out of the building, say, or the smell. So not this kind of flu, we don't want the E. Influenza for short is written like this, flu. There. So many different kinds of flu. Or types of flu are not known, and I agree with you 100%. And I just added here, you had a little hyphen or a dash, but instead I added through. So we can be better informed about our good health through qualified healthcare, good hygiene, and healthier diet. And that's using the number 3, which we've talked about, that it has sort of impact on the reader, convincing the reader. So what am I taking away from this? You're very good, Lena, so just keep studying. You can only get better. The organization is very good. These are minor language points to consider because we're after perfection. But apart from that, it's really good. So 2 things that I take back my comments on, the original ones, the last known case ever for smallpox. Yeah, this will work. So this can be removed. And then the other one is the passage of the law, which is fine, that I questioned a little bit, but I agree with you now. So I think I'm going to go to bed because I'm so tired, but hopefully this makes sense. And again, I do hope that it's useful to you. I'm going to send it to you right now, both the file and the video. Good night from me, Lena.